the city and also to the sewer system itself. Following that, there was about 10 years and lots of FEMA money assistance in rebuilding the sewer system, and about 80% of the system was rehab. The sewer system as we have it now, the dots are maintenance holes, and I'll try to remember to call them that. Judy Abdo corrects me all the time that they're not manholes, that there are maintenance holes. So correct me if I slip on that one. 150 miles of sewer mains. The colors of the lines in this map relate to the sizes. The bright red is the LA Amalgamated System sewer lines. Those are the lines that we partner with LA and a dozen other agencies in the operation and maintenance. And as you are likely aware, we send our sewers, our wastewater to Hyperion Treatment Plant. A key element in identifying what the build-out conditions would be and the future flow in the sewers is the information on projects that our planning department gave us that included all of the loose and downtown community projects. Various colors relate to the plans as they sit now, whether they're approved or in construction. But we did use the information and the size of the projects and its location and the land use to generate flow from those projects and create the future conditions. So existing conditions, let's look at the results there. What we found was that the system's actually in very good shape. There was only 1% of the existing system that was found to be to have some capacity restrictions. And by that we mean that its flow conditions are greater than half flow during dry weather and greater than 75% during wet weather flow. So of 150 miles of sewers under present day conditions, there are about 1.5 miles of sewers that don't meet that criteria and should be replaced. If we move on to the future conditions, again, the system, the findings are very encouraging. About 3% of the sewer lines are found to be to have some capacity restrictions, and it includes approximately 9 manholes that are at risk of surcharge.
Maintenance covers.
Thank you. Maintenance holes. About 9 maintenance holes are at risk of surcharge. That means that because of the backwater effects of a sewer that's too small, we could get water rising in a maintenance hole, and the worst case is that we get a sewer overflow through the cover itself. Beyond this, the next activities are to continue to do a little bit more field investigations to confirm some of the model results where it just looked a little bit funny. Maybe a slope was a little bit too flat, or the flow data didn't seem to make a lot of sense. So there are minor upgrades that are required overall, even at build-out conditions. So overall, it's a good story. We have very good system performance. We have a collection system that's adequate capacity to meet future needs at build-out at 2030 with some investment in improvements. And we arrived at a recommended 5-year capital improvement program. It's a modest CIP. It fits right into and dovetails with the $3 million a year we currently spend on wastewater main replacements. And so we can accommodate with that existing $3 million per year the improvements that have been identified to meet build-out conditions. Beyond that, the hydraulic model that we've developed is also a valuable tool to be able to identify what the impacts of any specific project might be, and as things change in the future, we can assess those impacts as well. This information was presented to the Water Advisory Committee on September 11th. It was presented also to the Environmental Task Force last Monday on the 18th. There was good discussion, questions and answers at both, but no formal action or motions or recommendations were taken by either body. So the recommended action tonight is that the Council approve this sanitary sewer system master plan. That concludes my report. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bourbeau. Councilmember McEwen.
I do have a question. and I have to observe the job of a council member in this city is endlessly fascinating. With this staff report this week, I now know more about our sewer system than I ever thought I would. For people who didn't look through the staff report, it includes photos of the interiors of various of our sewers. I thought that it was a wonderful mathematical equation for the sewer flow capacity based on diameter, sediment, and sewage depth that we should turn over to some trig teacher at Samo High who's teaching cosines, because that would be just a wonderful teaching tool. But my question is this: one thing I didn't see in the staff report, and I have to ask, are we threatened by fatbergs in our sewer system? Londonites are large congealed masses of cooking grease and other unsavory lipids that come together in the sewer with some of the solid and semi-solid material and can clog a sewer. Have we had any of that happen here?
We have not, and so fatbergs is a play on icebergs. And the reason we don't have an issue with that is because we have a group within Water Resources. It used to be called Industrial Waste. Now it's the Water Pollution Prevention Programs. You've seen Mr. Watson, my colleague, up here on other occasions. We have water inspectors, permits to restaurants that their grease traps and grease is working, that they're clean, specifically for that they don't